Hello, beautiful people. Hope you've had a fantastic week. My name is Jadesola if you're new to my channel. And if you've seen my video before, welcome back again. Today, we're going to be talking about mindset. And this video was actually inspired by a comment that was on a video that I had made about saving up £50,000 to buy a property in the UK. Now, if you're new to my channel, you might not know, I moved to the UK 2 years ago now. I can't believe it's 2 years. 2 years ago now, and I have been on a journey to save up to buy my first property in the UK. So this person left a comment on the video saying, I appreciate you educating your viewers about getting onto the property ladder, but it isn't that simple, love. I've always said America is a country that's full of opportunities for young people if you're disciplined and hardworking. Here in the UK, it isn't easy and simple. Most nurses who make 40,000 plus salary, working over 6 years, can't afford to purchase a home, even if they go up north. The government needs to do more for young professional people. Lifestyle is good, but not good enough. Most young people that come on YouTube aren't honest that they got help from family or they purchased with a friend, and that's the truth. And, I read this comment and it just got me thinking about how people's mindsets sometimes, hold them back. It really got me thinking about some of the things that I've seen about, victimhood mentality that I've seen with a lot of, immigrants when they move abroad. And while I'm not invalidating some of the things that this person has said, I know that some people have had really difficult times. They're not able to save up for anything. They earn really low. They have issues. All that, yeah, I get it. I'm not invalidating those people's experiences. But to now carry that mentality on myself because it's someone else's experience and not even be able to see the positive in someone saying they want to buy a house, they got help from their family, and then they got the house. And then you're talking about they're not being honest that, they bought the house with the help of their family or they bought with a friend. That in itself, that you can see that they found a solution. They were probably earning really low or whatever, but they got help. And you can see that as something positive. You feel like people need to come and share how they did it and the exact things they did. Because it's not possible that they could have done that from their salary, because according to this comment, even people that are earning £40,000 per annum cannot save up to buy a property even in 6 years, even if they go up north. Now, just to give you more context, right? Up north in the UK, when people are talking about it, are like places where you can legitimately buy properties for, let's say, between £70,000 to £120. But average property price in those places, I'll probably put them at £100,000. Now, if you're buying a residential property, you need about 10%. And so that's £10,000 with all associated costs. Let's say you spend £15,000. So this person is saying that on a 40,000 salary, you can save £10,000 in 6 years. This is where I started to really think about mentality, because when someone is so fixated on being a victim, or it's not going to work, or when you're an immigrant, when you're black, when you're whatever, things can happen, it's so difficult, it's this and that. That is exactly what they're going to continue to think, and then they will not be able to even see a solution. The people that sought help from their family and friends, they recognized what help would look like for them, and they went after it. Some people maybe went ahead, took extra jobs. You're still, doing your nursing job, but because getting onto the property ladder, saving up whatever your deposit is very important to you, and therefore you decided to probably take on an extra job after your 9 to 5 or whatever to get more money. You decided to start a business to get more money. You decided to invest in things that will help you to get more money. Because when you think about saving, right, it's either you're reducing your expense or you're increasing your income, right? Or you're getting gifts of some sort, which is what people who have sought help from family and friends have done. And this person is making it look like, oh, it's not easy, it's not possible, it's too difficult. And we cannot, even if it is so difficult, you cannot be living your life like everything is difficult. It's simply not sustainable. And I see it a lot with people. It feels like everybody just enjoys saying, oh, abroad is not easy, everything is expensive, this and that. While I'm not saying that certain things are not difficult or certain things are not expensive, where I focus my mind on is in all of this, there are people who were in the same situation, the exact same situation that I am in, but they found a way out. And that is the shift from victimhood mentality, it's impossible to do this, to start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And nobody is saying that, oh, if you make that mindset shift, that is still going to happen. But you cannot possibly, be moving around like, oh, it's because, you're an immigrant, or it's because you're earning this low, or it's because of your race or your gender, that's the reason why things are not happening for you. Even if those things are true, there has to be a level of delusion for people to be successful. Because if everybody is acting and living their lives with their reality, they wouldn't be able to achieve the things that they've achieved, right? You've heard of successful people who were like living in abject poverty and got themselves out of that situation. They could easily have said, oh, because my parents didn't have money when we were growing up, that's the reason they stayed poor. Oh, it's because, they are treated as second-class citizens in the country they've moved to. That's the reason they're not successful. That's the reason they don't have a good job. That's the reason they can't get onto the property ladder. That's the reason they can't invest. That's the reason. People can come up with all these excuses, but the way I like to live my life is that in spite of all these issues that could possibly be the reality of a lot of people around me, I choose to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I choose to say, hey, I can save this money to buy this property in this amount of time. How I'm going to do it, I may not entirely know it, but I'm going to set myself on that journey to start to save, to start to make inquiries about the things that I can do, to start to think of businesses that I can start to make more money in order to get more money to save, to start to, learn new skills, in-demand skills that can help me to earn more money, apply for roles that will pay a bit more. Like, we need to start to tell ourselves the truth. While things may be happening, and you might have even experienced something really negative yourself, but you can't wallow in that negativity. You can't wallow in that negative thought. You can't surround yourself with the same set of people that have those negative thoughts and then think that you'll be able to see a way out, or even recognize that there could be help coming from your family in order to do this, or that there are other strategies outside of buying your own property to get onto the property ladder, right? There's shared ownership, there's rent to rent, there's so many strategies to getting onto the property ladder other than actually buying your own that you can think of. But the moment you're fixated on that victimhood mentality of, hey, it's too difficult. Even if you're earning this amount, you can't do it. In my experience, and I used to say this a lot to my employees back in the day, that every battle is first won in the mind before it's won on the battlefield. You know, those movies we watch about, sports or war, where the leader or the captain is really just encouraging the team, even when they are like 3 goals down, and still telling them, hey, we still have 45 minutes, we still have 6 minutes, there's still a lot of time for us to turn things around. People need that. Even when it looks like it's impossible, you have to have a healthy level of delusion to say, I can still do this. Statistics may show otherwise, but I can. And you realize that the moment you have a little positive mindset, you're able to see clearly, you're able to see opportunities, you're able to see, different things that you can try. Apart from this comment that just, really just brought back some of the conversations I've had with certain people in the past, really just thinking about how the mindset works, where, it's almost like, oh, if you relocate abroad, you have to settle, you have to start from the rock bottom. And while that might be like a temporary measure for some people, it's become like a permanent thing for a lot of people, because they just could never get themselves out of that situation, because it just feels like, hey, because my friend that relocated went through this path in order to get here, then I have to do the exact same thing. You need to realize that everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. Now, people might go on a path where they are absolutely successful, and you will go on that path and then you will not be successful. And the other way around can also happen, where everybody around you have come in and they had to start with really, really low paying jobs, and then you will come in and in a week you get a really high paying job. Everybody's journey is different, and it's the mindset of, just not feeling like it's impossible that is going to get you out of that situation. And there's so many things that people can say, oh no, read this book, whatever. It needs to come from inside of you to tell yourself, I can do it, right? That level, that healthy level of delusion I described earlier, you need to have it. And I know I've gone on and on and on this particular topic, but the mindset really matters. If you think something is impossible, chances are it will be impossible for you to do it. But if you start to consider other opportunities that may change that, and start to think about things in a more positive way, even when it looks bleak, then you would realize that you would end up achieving a lot more than you think you can at the end of the day. And even when you try and you get disappointed, you can't stop trying. You can't give up. And that's the beauty of not having a victimhood mindset. Just because you dated people who broke your heart doesn't mean that there is no love out there. Just because, other people around you started really low doesn't mean that needs to be your situation. Just because, somebody went skydiving and their parachute didn't open doesn't mean that it's going to happen to you. I know that, this last example sounds a bit morbid, but one cannot keep living life like, a victim. It's not good for you mentally, emotionally, however you think about it. It's not good for you. It cripples you. It doesn't allow you to see opportunities. And I really hope that, if you are in a situation where everything just looks like it's impossible, or you're surrounded by a lot of it's not possible, this is how it works, I've gone through this before, I've been here before you, this is how it's meant to be, things are meant to be so hard before it gets really, easy, then what are we doing with our lives? We cannot live life that way. I cannot live life that way. I can't live my life, with a lot of negativity and impossibility. It's not just how I'm wired. So I will continue to tell my followers about the things that are possible, right? Because in the same situation, people are doing it. People have bought houses in less than 2 years, in less than 5 years. People have done these things. And I'm sorry, to this person that left this comment, I can't do that. That is the truth. The truth is there are people who have done it, and I will live my life believing that I can. Even if it doesn't happen for me in 2 years, but I will still believe that I can. And that is the only way I can see the opportunities for me to achieve these goals. So this video basically for me is just to encourage people not to give up, even when things around them just don't look like it is what they would like, or that everything just looks like it's impossible. We need to maintain a healthy level of positive mindset in order to be able to achieve our goals. And I hope that maybe there's something that I've said in this video that has resonated with you, and that you can flip whatever negative thought that is in your mind about the things that you're trying to do, and just flip it around and try to fill them up with some positive thoughts and positive attitude in order to be able to recognize opportunities to get to the other side of it, and achieve the things that you want to achieve. Don't let anybody tell you you cannot do something. Don't let anybody discourage you from doing the things that you want to do simply because they have tried it and they have failed. And even if you have failed, it doesn't mean that you can't try again. And that's the whole purpose of me making this video. And I really hope that you really enjoyed this video, because I just feel like I just went on a rant. If you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next time. Bye.